Okay, let's go.
So, what if I told you that the biggest, most dangerous threat to your trading account? Well, it isn't the market, it's not some big hedge fund, and it's definitely not a fancy algorithm. Nope, it's something way closer to home. You see, the real game, the real challenge in trading, it's almost never what's happening on your screen. So, just forget the charts for a second. This quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of everything we're talking about. The most critical territory you'll ever have to conquer, it's that 6 inches of space right between your ears. That is the real battlefield. And that's the big question, right? How in the world do you win a war against yourself? Well, that is exactly what we are going to break down right now. We're going to build a mental framework, a real edge that the market can never, ever take away from you. All right, so our first stop on this journey is about facing a fundamental truth. It's a simple one, but it's everything. Before you can even think about mastering the markets, you got to start the journey of mastering yourself. Okay, you've probably heard this statistic thrown around a lot. Trading is 80% psychology and just 20% strategy. But what does that actually mean in the real world? It means you could have two traders, right? Both using the exact same system. But the one with a stronger inner game, that's the one who's going to consistently come out on top every single time. And this really puts it into perspective. You are literally both the hero and the villain in your own trading story. Every single click, every trade, it becomes a psychological test. So you have to ask yourself, am I trading my plan, my edge, or am I just out here chasing my ego? Okay, so if we've established that we're our own worst enemy, it's time to get really specific. Let's shine a bright light on that inner saboteur, the emotional triggers that push us to make our absolute worst decisions. Just take a look at this list. I mean, be honest with yourself. Does any of this ring a bell? That gut punch of FOMO when a stock takes off without you? That burning need to jump right back in after a loss to get your money back? Or maybe just clicking buttons out of pure boredom? Look, these aren't random feelings. They're basically programmed responses. And recognizing your own triggers, that's the first huge step to disarming them. Man, this chart just cuts right to the heart of it all. This is the difference between a professional and an amateur. On one side, you've got the calculated risk taker, someone who owns every single outcome, win or lose. And on the other, the emotional gambler, always blaming the market. So again, you got to be honest. Which side of this chart do you find yourself on most days? And this is a really profound idea. When you break your rules, it's not because you don't know any better. Come on, you know what you're supposed to do. It's an emotional problem. You're just trying to get rid of that awful tension inside, that stress from a drawdown or the sting of a bad loss. Okay, so we've spent some time identifying the enemy, right? Now, let's talk about how to fight back. This next part is all about building the actual tools, the real mental habits you need to forge an unbreakable psychological edge. And let's be super clear about one thing. The goal here is not to become a robot. You're a human being. You're going to feel fear. You're going to feel greed. Emotional discipline is the skill of noticing those feelings and then executing your plan with precision anyway. It's all about control, not trying to suppress what you feel. So think of this as your mental toolkit. And these aren't just, fuzzy abstract ideas. These are real, actionable techniques you can use today. A few seconds of conscious breathing can literally calm your entire nervous system down. Journaling. It's like a detective for your own mind, revealing the hidden patterns behind your mistakes. And structured self-talk, that's how you become your own coach instead of your own worst critic. Even a simple 10-second power pause before you hit that button, man, that can be the difference between a smart, planned trade and a total impulsive disaster. Elite performers, it doesn't matter if they're athletes or traders, they all rely on routines to keep their psychology grounded. A simple structure like this one, prepare in the morning, reset during the day, and review at night, that's what creates the consistency you need for long-term success. It's what turns trading from a hobby into a professional practice. But look, even with the best tools and the most perfect routines, you're still going to face the ultimate test, that emotional roller coaster of winning and losing. And how you handle that, well, that's where your character as a trader is truly forged. We all know this feeling, right? The fear of losing, the fear of just being plain wrong. It's paralyzing. It's what makes you hesitate on a great setup or cut a winning trade way too short. It's frustrating for sure, but it is manageable. But here's the crazy paradox. Overconfidence? It's way, way more dangerous. The high you get from a winning streak is literally intoxicating. It hijacks the rational part of your brain. See, fear might make you miss a trade, but euphoria? Euphoria can make you throw your entire rulebook out the window, pile on leverage, and completely destroy your account in a single afternoon. So this is how the pros handle a loss, not with panic, but with a protocol, a plan. Instead of jumping right back in for revenge, you step away. You review the trade objectively. You protect your mental capital. And just like that, you turn a reactive, emotional moment into a structured chance to learn something. And this chart right here, it reveals the biggest trap of success. Just look at that top number. 40% of traders will abandon the very plan that got them there in the first place during a winning streak. The lesson couldn't be clearer. The most important time to be disciplined is when you feel like you can't lose. Your process is what got you here. Don't just throw it away. Which brings us to our final, and maybe the most important, shift in perspective. Trading isn't about the next trade. It's about the next 10 years. We got to talk about how to build the mindset for a sustainable, lifelong career in the markets. Because success in this game is not a sprint. It is a marathon. You know, most people wildly overestimate what they can do in a month, and they drastically underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. Real mastery is built through thousands and thousands of reps, not a handful of lucky trades. Think about this. The market can't see the hours you spend journaling. It has no idea you practiced your breathing exercises. But all that invisible work you're doing, your discipline, your awareness, your resilience, that is the only edge that truly lasts. Because ultimately, trading isn't just about the money, is it? It's one of the most powerful tools for self-discovery on the planet. It will expose every one of your weaknesses, your fears, your ego, like nothing else can. But if you're brave enough to really look in that mirror, you don't just become a better trader. You become a stronger person, period. And so here we are, right back where we started, full circle. We kicked this off with the 80-20 rule, and we're ending with it. Your strategy, that's just the ticket that gets you into the game. But your mindset and your discipline, that's what's going to let you win it. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The market is a mirror. On a big scale, yeah, it reflects the collective psychology of everyone participating. But for you personally, it reflects something much deeper. Your discipline, your focus, your emotional control. So the real question isn't, what's the market going to do next? The real question is, what are you going to do next? What will that mirror reflect back at you?